Hey there, welcome back to Big Anklevich on Health. It is September 17th and also week 17 of my journey to Wonderland using Carnivore and alternate day fasting. Let's take a look at how it went here on Big Anklevich on Health. All right, the first thing that we usually do every week is take a look at my daily reports. Let's see how things went each day of this week. It is Tuesday, and this morning I got up, had myself some breakfast. The breakfast was, I tried to cook some bacon, but I've been doing this thing where I try and cook the bacon at a lower temperature because I think when you burn bacon or when you really sizzle it, that supposedly makes chemicals get into your fat, and it's supposed to be some kind of carcinogen, etc. I can't remember the whole deal, but I've been trying to cook my bacon at lower temperature. I saw a video the other day where the guy said if you can hear your bacon cooking, then you're cooking it too hot. So if it's sizzling, that's bad. So I just cooked it at 350, and it took forever. It takes a long time for it to cook, and while I was waiting for it to cook, I made some eggs, and they were getting cold, and so I decided I would get this leftover steak that I had in the drawer, in the fridge drawer, the meat drawer in the fridge, not just any old drawer. And I warmed that up in the microwave and then threw it on the pan that I'd cooked the eggs on and seared it on the outside just a little bit to give it a little something. And I had those eggs and that steak for breakfast. And I also ate the last of my bit of Parmesan cheese wedge that I had from last week. And yeah, that's going to be it. I'm not going to do any more cheese. Today was my last cheese day. And I'm just going to leave it off. And maybe we'll go see if we can go a whole month. What is today? The 10th, I think it is. So we'll see if we can go all the way to October 10th with no cheese. And see what a difference that makes. No cheese and no pork rinds. Although I didn't eat any pork rinds today to finish things off. I guess we'll leave that for last Saturday. Anyways, so I had that for breakfast, and I was full by the time the bacon was finally finished. So I didn't eat that for several hours. When it was time for lunch, I had that bacon. I warmed it up in the microwave, and then I got some of the liver that I cooked last week, and I warmed that also up in the microwave. Put some ghee on the liver, which made it a little tastier, because I'm still not a huge fan of liver. I don't hate it like I used to, though, so that's a step in the right direction, I guess. Yeah, I had liver, and I had ghee, and I had the bacon. And that was it. And I was done, and I started my fast, and now I'm fasting now. I've been going for 6 hours, something like that. Got another 34 hours to go, so we'll get on with that. Okay, it is Wednesday, and I am about 30 hours into my fast right now. And I'm doing just fine. Haven't had much trouble really at all with fasting today, so that's been nice. Haven't even really felt hungry much. But, I'm coming along just fine, and, I don't know, I guess that's all I got to say. Okay, it is Thursday. I got up this morning and I closed off my fast at 43 and something hours. I had myself some bacon and some eggs. Actually, it was eggs and then bacon, because I did cook the bacon in the low temperature way, and so it took a while. So I had my eggs cooked and eaten, and then finally the bacon came out, and then I ate that, and that was pretty good. And then later on, before I headed out to work, I had a ribeye steak along with some liver that I cooked last week or the week before. I think it was, I don't remember, it was a while ago. And then I also had a big thing of bone broth. I've had this bone broth in the freezer for a while, and I keep forgetting that it's there. I've still got 3 more bottles, or mason jars, I guess, of it. I moved them to the inside freezer, so hopefully I'll see them more often, and I will drink them more often, because I've been saving bones too, so that I can make some new bone broth. And I'd like to finish the old bone broth before I bother with the new stuff, so we'll see if we can do that here soon, and then I'll make some new bone broth. But yeah, now I'm back on my fast. It's been, 6 hours, something like that. And I'm doing fine. Feeling full, super, super full after all that stuff that I ate. So no trouble fasting right now. Okay, it is Friday and it's a fast day, so I have not eaten anything today. I was super hungry earlier today, man. It was interesting. My stomach just kept grumbling and rumbling. I don't know what the deal was with that. I usually don't have that issue. I don't get very intense hunger pains on fasting days very often. I don't know if I just have gotten used to it or it just doesn't bug me too much or what. I have gotten used to fasting, so that's probably it. Anyways, that's Friday. No eating, and I'm doing just fine. Okay, it is Saturday night, and I finished up my fast this morning at about 42 and a half hours. And what I had was chaffles. I don't know. I probably need to stop chaffles. I like them though. They make a good substitute for bread. So I made 2 smallish chaffles, which is half a cup of cheese, 1 egg. So it's a cup of mozzarella cheese and 2 eggs in that. And on top of the chaffle, I put a hamburger patty on each one of those. And then on top of that, I put a slice of Munster cheese. And then on top of that, I put, I think, 2 pieces of bacon. And then on top of that, I put 2 fried eggs. And I ate those sandwiches. I guess you can call them tostadas, you could say they were. But yeah, they were pretty tasty. I actually really liked that. It made a good combination for breakfast. And after that, I was pretty darn stuffed. To tell you the truth, I was full. My wife had a bunch of yard work for us to do for Saturday, so we went out and we worked in the yard. I sweat like a dog. You don't need the whole rundown of my freaking day, do you? But anyways, eventually we finished that up and came in, took a shower. But then I went back out and I cooked myself a steak. And I also grabbed bone broth and I took the bone broth, defrosted that stuff, and I had a steak and bone broth. I want to say something else too. I probably had more cheese. I don't know. I got a problem with cheese. But anyways, that was my dinner. And I finished that off and that's it. I'm full, so I'm not going to eat anymore tonight. Okay, it is Sunday night, and this morning I got up, and eventually, I didn't eat right away. I wasn't too hungry, but around 11 o'clock, I had some breakfast. I had some eggs. And this picture does not show all the eggs that I ate. I had 4 eggs, but there's probably only about 2 of them left by this point. Forgot to take a picture right away. And then I also had some bacon. The bacon took a lot longer to cook than the eggs, so it didn't come in the same picture. It took a while, and when it was ready, I ate the bacon. And then I also broke out some of my liver. I ate the last of the liver, and that's what I had for breakfast. And and then I also had a whole bunch of this wedge of Parmesan cheese that my wife bought when we were grocery shopping yesterday. I wasn't going to get any Parmesan cheese because I always do this, but she needed some for a recipe that she was making, and so, yeah, I had a whole bunch of cheese. And, oh my gosh, my stomach just felt terrible after that. And I had some gas going on. And I was tired too. I didn't sleep well last night. For some reason, I woke up super early and couldn't get back to sleep. So I laid down on the couch, put on a football game, and fell asleep. And then when I woke up, I cooked up a steak. And I ate some of the steak, but my stomach still didn't feel quite right. It still felt a little rumbly. So I had some of the steak, and I also had, my wife had made ham for dinner, and so I also ate some of the ham, although it was covered with this mustard dressing, which, I mean, I think she's doing keto, so it should have been more or less okay, but mustard isn't carnivore, so I don't know. It wasn't carnivore, but it was mostly carnivore. And so, yeah, I ate a fair amount of the ham, and then I ate, I don't know, a third of the steak. I really didn't eat that much. I just didn't feel like eating anymore, so I thought, okay, well, I guess I stopped now. Okay, it is Monday. Today's a fasting day, and I'm fasting. something like 30 hours, 25 hours. I don't know where I'm at right now. It doesn't matter. I'm going to eat again in the morning. I am freezing today. My hands are just so cold. And the sad thing is it's a dark and gloomy kind of a day. And so it's not particularly warm. I came outside to try putting my fingers on the steering wheel to warm them up. And it's just not warmth on the steering wheel to do that for me. I've started wearing my big Columbia jacket to stay warm inside the office, but what do I do with my hands? Those are the things that get the coldest, my hands and my feet, because that's something that happens when you fast, is that your body pulls conserves the heat in your core, I guess, is what it does. And so, yeah, my hands are always freezing. I guess I could keep them in my pockets, but I have to use them when I work, that's just one of those things that I gotta do. So, I guess I'll be fine tomorrow when I eat some more food and that warms up my extremities again. Yeah, it was a tough week, but it's always a tough week, isn't it? All right, so let's see how things turned out. My goal for this week was 236, and did I make it to my goal? Is it something that I managed? Let's go take a look at my weigh-in. Okay, so 237.9 is what I managed to get to this week, which is well short of my goal, almost 2 whole pounds short of my goal. My goal was pretty lofty, pretty aspirational. I was pretty sure that I wouldn't make it to it, but I hoped that I would. I did lose 1.8 pounds overall, which, that's basically what I was expecting to lose at this point every week, is about 2 pounds a week. So I made that, but I left my goal up high and was hoping that something would happen. Now, didn't happen because I didn't do what I said I was going to do. I kept talking about having it be a no cheese week, and it wasn't. It wasn't that. I ate cheese and I ate plenty of it, and I was bad. And I'm starting to think that it may be an actual thing that I have issues with. I have a sister who was allergic to milk. She grew up having to drink soy milk, yeah. So, but I wonder if that is a thing that carries over to the rest of the folks in my family. Do we all have issues with milk and we just don't have it as bad as my sister did, so we don't notice? I wonder if I just need to completely cut dairy out of my diet and see if that makes a big improvement in my well-being. I saw a post from somebody on Zeroing In on Health, I think it was, recently, where they said that they had been on Carnivore for months and weren't getting all those great health benefits that everyone else was getting. And they just couldn't understand why, and they finally decided to cut dairy out of their diet altogether. And as soon as they did, everything changed. All those aches and pains that they had in their joints and lower back and stuff like that completely vanished. And I still get kind of similar pains. I wonder if just trying that might be worth it. I thought about making this week the week where I completely just exit all out, I don't do any of that stuff. But yesterday, news of a big storm coming to Houston started to come out. I was here when Hurricane Harvey hit, and it was a crazy time. And now they're saying that this might be half, at least, the rainfall that Harvey had, a big storm that's going to come. Going to have lots of moisture, and it's going to move very slow over the Houston area and probably drop feet worth of rain on us. And to tell you the truth, it floods here when a lot less than that happens. So I work in news, and I have to be there to cover all the stuff that's going on. And it's possible that I may have to, spend the night at work because I won't be able to get home and back to work again the next day. in light of that, I'm thinking maybe I better not limit my diet any further than it already is. Maybe I should just leave it as is until after this week has passed, because it could be trouble if maybe I'd have to try a longer fast. I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm going to wait one more week before I try the big all-encompassing change that I'm thinking, and we'll just stick with a regular diet without messing with it for anything much until next week. I've lost 59.1 pounds altogether. That's my entire weight loss since I've started, and that is 19.89% of my body weight from when I started, when I was 297 pounds. That's something. That's something special. I really want to get a little further down into the 30s, though. I want to get to the point where I step on the scale, even at my heaviest, and it doesn't tell me I weigh 240 something, which is what it still does now. I want that to go away. So hopefully by the end of this week, and maybe losing another 2 pounds or more, maybe that'll happen. I think I'm going to still leave my goal at what it would have been for this week, before me failing to make my goal this week. So my old goal was 236 for this week. I was supposed to have gotten there today, and I'm still at 237.9. That's almost 2 pounds. My new goal was going to be 234. I'm going to leave it at 234. So 234 is my goal for next week. That's almost 4 pounds I'd have to lose this week. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe if I wind up having to do an extra long fast, I'll get there. Who knows? But I don't want that to happen, because that means bad things happen probably here in Houston. So we're praying for no extra fasting. We'll see if I can manage. And then the week after that, we're going to start into a long-term process, a long-term goal of no dairy. And we'll see how that goes. Check back with me next week and let's see how things were. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching Big Anklevich on health.